Have you been tracking your expenses? Did you do your monthly expense tracker that has the itemized expenses for the last 2 completed months? So that you see where your money goes? Did you? If not, then stop this video right now and go do that, because we will need those sheets right now. Because this is where the fun starts. Yay! Okay. This week, we're going to gamify our finances and start creating wealth. So we're going to Kaizen the shit out of your money. All right? And the game that we're creating is based on this Japanese principle of Kaizen, which is the constant and never-ending improvement. And it's based on the idea that small, incremental, positive changes over time lead to significant improvements. Okay. So have you thought about what it would do to your financial situation if you decreased your expenses by 1% every month, and if you increased your income 1% every month? Do you know what difference that could make in your finances in a year? No? I don't think so. Okay, so let me tell you. So let's just assume for simpleness sake that your expenses right now are $1,000 and your income is $1,000. I know these are not the actual numbers, but you can plug in your actual numbers and see what those numbers are for you. So let's assume that those are the numbers right now. So you're not saving zilts. You're saving absolutely zero. You're spending every penny you earned. Great. Congratulations. So if you decrease your expenses by 1% every single month, that would mean in the first month you decrease your expenses by $10, which is nothing. After 12 months, your expenses would have come down to $886 a month. Okay, and you would be saving $114 a month. Got it? That's great. $114 is great compared to the zero you're doing right now. But we can do better, because we can do the same thing on the income side. So if our income, let's assume our income right now is $1,000 a month, and we increase the income by 1% every single month. So what does that come out to? So in 12 months, your income would have risen to $1,127, which means you could literally set aside an extra $114 from the expense side that you saved, and $127 that you earned in extra income. So that's $240 per month of savings you can get in just 12 months. And that might not sound like a lot, but it also, 1% difference in expenses and income is also a tiny bit, so you will not feel a whole lot different. And if you did this for 2 years, you'd be saving $484 per month. And let's say that you are like, oh my God, this is great. Let me save extra 2% a month, and let me make an extra 2% a month in income. What would that get you? That would get you saving $484 per month in 12 months, and almost $1,000 in 2 years. So that is pretty awesome, based on income and expenses of $1,000. And I would venture to guess that you probably make a little bit more than $1,000 a month, and your expenses probably are more than $1,000 a month either. But you get the point. Small incremental changes can lead to huge changes over time. Okay. So this sounds like a great idea, so let's do it. All right, so how do we do this? So let's look at the expenses side. How can we save on expenses? So you have your monthly sheet. You do, because you just went and got it, didn't you? So look at that list and see what expenses can you get rid of. Are there things that you barely use? And are there things that you didn't even realize that you had, like subscriptions, etc.? When I did this, I found several subscriptions I wasn't even using. I had several website subscriptions for websites I barely went to. I had online streaming channels that I didn't use, and I have news subscriptions that I didn't use. So I'm like, Bye. All of that went out of the window. Can you order in less? Can you eat out less? Can you drink less Starbucks? Can you tell your wife she does not need that porcelain figurine set from Amazon? I want you to look at your list of expenses and highlight the ones that you think that you might be able to do without. And I'm sure that there's several of them in there. So cancel at least 2 expenses right now. And the more that you cancel, the more you will be able to actually check whether you actually even miss them. Because oftentimes we're like, oh, I can't live without it. But then if you don't actually use it, then just cancel it. And if you can't live without it, then get it back later. Okay. And then what I want you to do is I want you to look at that list and see whether there's expenses that you can reduce or renegotiate. Okay. So you could call your credit card company and ask them to lower your credit card interest rate so that you can pay down the balance faster. You could negotiate your internet. You could renegotiate your car insurance. You can probably also get online coupons for almost anything you buy these days. So, and you can go and pick up your food instead of paying for delivery fees. Or, God forbid, you could actually learn to cook. What about that? So after you have completed this step, you likely have been able to reduce your monthly expenses by quite a bit. Like, I would venture to say way more than 1%. And you're going to be like, yes! Now, what are you going to do with the difference? You're going to save it. Save it, okay? And we'll get to that in a second. But let's look at the income side. So we have figured out many ways to decrease our expenses. And now let's make a lot more money. How about that? So how can you make more money? So if you work for a company, you can work an extra hour to, you can take a little overtime, you can sell a few more products to increase your commissions, or you can start a business that you can do from home in addition to the work you're doing right now for the company that you're doing it for. And if you work for yourself, you can take on a few more clients, you can sell a few more units of your product, you can increase the prices. And if you're a service provider, maybe you can sell some additional products that your clients might find helpful, that you're currently not selling. You can also ask for referrals from existing customers so that you can increase your client base. The other thing you can do is you can see if there's any passions or hobbies or skills that you have that you can monetize outside of work and create an extra income stream that way. Or you can also delegate tasks that somebody else can do better than you. So for example, let's say that you're right now the one doing the cleaning at home. You can tell your husband and kids to get off the damn couch and do the cleaning so that you can take a few more clients on. How about that? So now you have increased your income and decreased your expenses. What you're going to do with the difference? You are going to save it. Okay? Save it. So I want you to open a different bank account and transfer the money you save every single month to that other bank account so that you don't see it. And do not touch that bank account. This is where you start saving for your financial safety net, and this is your emergency fund. And this money is not to be touched, okay? Make sure that the bank account is interest-bearing and it doesn't have any minimum fees, and you're all good to go. And in the Millionaire Bootcamp course, we actually go into much more detail as to what we're going to do with the money and how we're going to make it grow faster. But for the 3-part video series, put the money aside, do not touch it. Just forget about it and keep on increasing that fund every month by the monies that you're saving. Lastly, before I let you go, a note on credit cards. Credit cards are awesome, and they can give you airline miles and cash back and good feelings, but don't ever, 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 ever use your credit card unless you can pay off the balance at the end of each month. Ever. Okay? So if you are carrying credit card balances, first of all, stop using your cards immediately and start paying for everything, either cash or debit card, so that you don't increase your credit card balance. Okay? Definitely negotiate down your interest rate so that you can use more of the money that you're sending the credit card company towards the principal balance instead of paying interest. Okay. I would also immediately double down on your Kaizen game and increase the percentage that you're using for the game to either 2% or 3% or as much as you can do, so that you increase your income by larger percentage every month, decrease your expenses by larger percent every single month, so that you can basically use the difference to paying down your credit card balances, because that is expensive debt. And there's so many better places you can use that money. Okay. And what I would do is like split your monthly savings in half from the game that we have created today, and use half of it to pay down your credit card balances, and then use half of it to send to the other bank account to build your emergency savings, because I want you to have that too. I want you to be able to do both at the same time. And remember to never ever ever use your credit card unless you can pay off the balance at the end of each and every month. We're no longer going to pay interest to credit card companies. They got way too much money, and we want to keep more of it. So that is it. Thank you for being part of this 3-part video series, and I hope you have learned something, and I hope that you have gained some skills and tips and tricks that you can use to help build your financial freedom. And I hope to see you in the Millionaire Bootcamp online course, which is coming up shortly. So I will see you soon, and love you, and keep on playing your financial game. Okay? Bye.